shit. This shit's been recorded. We're gonna just keep it going. We're gonna keep it natural as this goes, man. We really don't need an introduction. It's Adam Paul Stone, like y'all fucking know the guy. As simple as that, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah, man, we out here. I'm J9. We got Ezra Mills. We are chilling, like you said.
Duke Fly's in the building.
Duke is chilling. We're at Mills and Duke's house.
That's my brother, man.
What did the Fly say?
Hey, that's my brother. I got 100 nicknames for all my brothers, man.
Dude,
you have any nicknames for your brother?
I used to call him Jacob for some reason. Like for no reason, just called him Jacob.
Just randomly gave him a whole new name.
Yeah, he's like, I came back from one summer and I was like, "What's up, Jacob?" And he was like, "What?" And then it kind of caught on. Even my dad started calling him Jacob. So it's like it's
just rubbed off this one.
Yeah.
So Adam, man, first and foremost, you ain't even been in the city. You're not even living here anymore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where you at?
I'm currently in the Dallas area, like east side of Dallas. Yeah.
Cool. So what brings you to town?
Well, I work here like once a month. Like I get booked for a wedding or music videos or whatever, and so I come out like about once a month. Now I have a kid at home and a wife, so it's like the time, like whatever. You know?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You gotta
For sure.
Sounds
This
like
is a new baby. This ain't no.
Yeah, she's 5 months, and I'm I work from home, so I'm a stay-at-home dad with her. So it's it's pretty tough.
That is dope.
I love it. Yeah, she's amazing. It's kind of changed your life having a kid for sure.
How's that changed your work?
Well, I don't know yet. I think the effects of having a daughter changing work, as in creatively, hasn't really gone there yet. I've written a script for a new movie that kind of reflects on being married and having a kid. But that was before she was born. So, but
that's cool.
The other side, the opposite side, business-wise, it's been very difficult having a kid and trying to do business. You know what I'm saying? It's like, she's like needs to be fed and put the naps while I'm trying to edit. Her naps are like 30 minutes long. Yeah. So I'm like trying to edit a video in that 30-minute span before she wakes up.
You gotta stay as quiet as possible.
Yeah, I'm just like in there like, okay,
I
watching
remember
the baby monitor. Like,
I remember when my daughter was born, bro. I used to put her to sleep while recording, and I just knew like I wanted to record so bad. I knew I couldn't keep it, but I was like, but I have to have this kid in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So I would just record. I would just practice, and I'd have her with me. So she would literally, from then till now, she's been in a studio like her whole life type shit.
That's crazy. How did you do it? Like,
I mean, it was just like this kind of a
rap
setup.
with her in your arms?
Yeah, I just, had a beat on and just have her in my arms. I'm rapping and she'll be there, awake or asleep, and I'll be, kind of doing the same thing on the computer, editing.
You don't have a choice.
I have no choice, It's my day off from work. I got to take care of my baby, and I'm going to make some music.
Yeah. I'm trying that right now. She's just getting so, like, interested. She's trying to touch the keyboard, and I'm like, yo,
see,
stop.
But when it's something like video editing, that could be detrimental if you lose something, or like when you record an audio, man, you got it written down. You can go and say it. You can go do it again.
What do you work on? You work on a laptop or a desktop?
I have both, but I mostly work on my desktop for editing video because it seems to be faster than
What do
laptop.
You use for as far as computer runs?
I have an iMac, I guess. It's like it's all on one screen, whatever, and then I use Premiere for the editing portion and After Effects. So those two programs.
Don't give away too many of them.
I mean, they're out there. It's a subscription service. I mean, you pay $50 a month. So if anyone's willing to pay $50 a month for that crap, you can't have it. So
wow,
it does. It's not about the bow and arrow. It's about the archer. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
It's not about you could buy all that equipment, spend thousands of dollars on all that stuff, and you'd never be good because it's about the person behind all those things that makes them good.
You gotta gain all that knowledge.
Yeah, learn your craft before you start trying to get all that stuff. Like I learned, I got my first camera when I was 13 years old, and I was editing at that time too. Like we got taught how to edit in school, and so I've been doing it for a long time before I actually made a career out of it. Some people buy all that stuff and try to make a career without even having the knowledge before, which is super annoying.
Do you remember the first camera you bought, or what was that camera?
The first camera I bought, I actually saved up for, and it was the camera that I guess none of you guys would be a part of that part of my career, but it was like right whenever I started shooting music videos. The first camera I bought was a 60D Canon, and it had a flip screen, and I saved up for it. I was working at UPS, and I was just like grinding so hard to get that dang camera, it felt like so accomplished. I did it.
Yeah.
I bought my first camera. Felt so happy.
How old were you at that? You said you were working at UPS.
UPS, I was like 20, I think.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Camera. My first professional camera, yeah.
Okay, so you saying you started at 13, right?
13 is technically, I guess, the technical start point, but you know, I'd been shooting video and I was in broadcasting class in junior high, and I did videos for my school. After that, it was really in high school whenever I thought, oh, that's a career option. You can become a director if you wanted to. Like, it never crossed my mind, you know, like you watch movies and you never thought, oh, those people have jobs, you know, like that's their job. And then it finally clicked in my head, that's what I want to do. I've been shooting video for a long, long time. I should do that.
So, like, was it a video that, like, kind of...
It was a movie.
That sparked you, that you knew, like, okay, I'm actually kind of good at this.
Oh, like
was
for
it
myself?
A video
No.
or with...
I think it was just the idea that I thought I could be a director, I think, because I saw behind the scenes on Rush Hour 2. I was watching behind the scenes, I was watching that director work, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I saw the way he talked to, like, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker and all of them in that movie. I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be able to direct movies and whatever. That's where it clicked, was watching behind the scenes of a Rush Hour 2.
So about how old were you when you watched that behind the scenes?
I think it was probably like 16 or 17, somewhere.
So from 16 to 17 to now, like, how much has that vision developed? And are you still, is it still the same goal or dream or like perspective?
I mean, down deep, you know, like once life starts building on you and you get married and you have a kid, those kind of dreams kind of start changing and evolving, but still deep down I want to do that. I want to direct Hollywood movies and stuff like that. That's still inside of me and still a goal and things like that. I mean, because, you know, all of us still have that kid passion and dream that is still there. That's like, that's what I want. And we're all of us, even if you're 50 years old, you're still driving to be whatever it is, the rock star on stage or the director behind the camera on a big movie.
It never leaves.
Yeah, it never leaves. I don't think there's like an 8-year-old man who's like, one day, I'm gonna play for an audience.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I think you know, a lot of people that don't really know Adam Stone, you're also a musician. Yes. You know your instruments. Were you a musician first?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know exactly when I started learning guitar, but Josh, my brother, I think my dad started teaching him guitar, all of us, but we were all horrible at it. He caught on quick, and then I learned by watching Josh, and I became the bass player. So I started playing bass. Josh was a guitar player. Then I started picking up other instruments like drums, and I started playing guitar more. And yeah, I mean, that's how it happened. And then when we started getting in rock bands, I was the singer, so I became lead vocals in bands and stuff like that, and Josh was the guitar player.
Yeah, because like, super cool. Like, believe it or not, me and my wife Megan, we're actually fans of the Urgency, the Exit.
That's crazy.
So we would actually go to their shows. We had
so
merch,
crazy.
And I would see you every once in a while. Like, once I put 2 and 2 together, you know, what was your role with the Urgency? Because let them know who the Urgency and the Exit was.
Urgency the Exit.
And J9 knows everything about love.
This is a local.
I know, he's a part of the scene like crazy. Yeah, so Urgency and Exit is a friend of mine who was the lead vocals and the creator of that band. For me, I didn't really have a role in that band at all. I was just friends with them, and they came to all of our shows for our band. They came to every single one. And then when that band broke up, me, Josh, and the lead singer and a couple other friends started another band called Haviland, which basically the members of that band were in that band. I was in that band.
Which I also followed.
Yeah, that band was, it was amazing. That whole time period was really cool for the scene here, like for music. I don't feel like the rock music's like that anymore. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. Everyone was going to shows all the time, like at the Way.
Did you ever help Urgency?
No, Josh did.
With them? Okay.
Josh did some stuff with them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember just all around, just kind of seeing everybody, and yeah, we went to a few shows. Believe it or not, my first show, I was 15 years old. And that's when I decided I want to be a rapper. I sold my PS3 and I actually booked the Urgency.
Did you really?
In some shitty venue
downtown.
And I don't know who the guitarist, I don't know his name. It's the original guitarist. He ended up like smashing his guitar there.
Did you really?
It was just a weird show. Like, they killed it and shit, but it was just like weird because there's rappers. Now that I think about
That's crazy.
But you know, I put the show on.
That's
I was 15 or 16 years old,
What
and and the Urgency, man, they had opened up for what band at the amphitheater or something.
They
like
opened up for Taking Back Sunday.
There you go, and
So
it
like
was
3,000 people.
Yeah, and I'm talking about it was
packed.
Like they had pictures, it was beautiful.
Apparently, it was the crowd's roar was so loud the stage was vibrating. It was like vibrating the stage when they're walking on it. So it's pretty intense. That's a lot of people.
That paints a crazy picture.
Just rumbling a stage. That's crazy.
You still do any music?
I do it. I do music just for hobby, not for like anything other than that. Yeah, it's fun. I there's periods I go in and out of fluctuating between like wanting to play music and write and stuff to like not being interested in it at all. And I'm in that period right now where I'm like writing music because my daughter really enjoys it, so I just play music for her. And I start coming up with stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I should record that. And I'm like, when am I going to have time to record it?
Yeah.
I have a baby. I guess I could hold her in my arms like Dustin.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
That's my life right now. When am I going to have time for that?
And go ahead.
I was going to tell you, I'll show you videos later of like her in the studio. Like she'll take over and I'll just let her take over, So she'll grab the headphones, grab the mic, and she'll just take over for a little bit, get out of her system, and then I get back to it.
Yeah, okay, Daddy's turn.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go take a smoke break.
Work on your bars.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
work on your bars. I want, a couple verses when I get back.
Yeah. But I feel like to go back towards the fatherhood thing that we can all actually relate to. You know what I'm saying, especially doing stuff that we do. Man, I think my biggest thing from that is just that, being able to pass down the same passion, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
But at the same time, not forcing it on her, just kind of let it develop in her the way she wants. I feel like it's going to be cool for her when she's 15, 16, she's going to say like, oh yeah, I was in the studio with X person or that person, or like,
And like I was able to see my dad work, even if you don't want to do this, like you were able to see it, you're able to see what I do. And
I never thought about that.
Because it's different, I mean, not everybody goes to school. Yeah, my dad's a director.
Yeah.
And it's just like being rappers, after you hear that, you got to hear all the credentials behind it.
Right.
Once people get to know that, it's like, oh, damn, this guy's for real, or they're for real. But
I never thought about that because I think about things like, because my wife is not like in the creative field at all. So I think like it's very possible she could grow up and be like very book smart and not interested in creative stuff. And I always think about that. I'm like, wow, what if she grows up and she's like into football or something? And I'm like, have no way to relate to her. Like, she's like really into like sports.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm like, sorry, babe.
You better put the Nikes on and that hat on.
Yeah. Like, the only sport I know is skateboarding. So I don't know. Maybe can you do an ollie, babe? Can you do an ollie?
I just, from my perspective, growing up, I didn't play any sports. So
really?
I put my daughter in sports to kind of live vicariously through that. I like, go run that, run that soccer, run that goal and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of
playing soccer, and you're like, hit a home run.
Yeah.
That's the wrong sport.
Touchdown.
Just wait for everybody else to start clapping, and you guys start clapping.
Yeah. I guess we did good.
Yeah, all right. Man, well, just keep going. I have lots of questions just to let you know. I wrote down some stuff.
Cool.
We're here with Adam Stone, nominated director. He's been doing this thing out of Lubbock. Just to keep it going, like I said, do you back to the music thing real quick? Do you have any aspirations to like do music still, or is it?
No, it's all hobby based. Yeah. I mean, when I'm, daydreaming, I still dream. I think those dreams never end in your head. Like when I'm daydreaming about things, I'm like, man, that'd be cool to be on a stage again. But it's just like, I think I really don't like when people put their fingers in like so many pies and try to be so many things. Like, so that's why I never say that I'm a musician anymore, because my pure direction is to be a director. So I want to be known for that. Mm-hmm. And when people know that I'm a musician, it's cool because it has influenced my career, because knowing rhythm and knowing things has helped my editing, and knowing the music industry has helped me influence my vision of people's music videos and blah, blah, blah. But I don't want people to think that I'm a musician and also he does acting or whatever. I don't want all these fingers in all these pies, because I think that splits you so many different ways. There are people, maybe your talent is diminished when people think, oh, he also records and he does, filmmaking, and he's a photographer, and he's a da-da-da. It's like, be one good thing. Be good at one thing. Even though you probably are good at a lot of things, but make sure everyone knows you're good at one thing.
Yeah,
that has been
have that title. You know?
Yeah, I want that thing that he's a good director.
I'm gonna mention to the listeners, it is Sunday. Adam Paul Stone is preaching. Come on, listen.
So we're getting to the director thing, man. So you started doing music videos, and then I guess your first short film was Ben, I Like You.
My first short film was in 2010 called A Complex Structure Known as a Relationship, and it was actually played at a film festival here. Mm-hmm. And that was before music videos. People saw the trailer to that and were trying to book me for music videos. So that's where the career kind of started, the small flame. And I was getting asked for people, like, there's a YouTuber, an old YouTuber here in town who had 300,000 subscribers, millions of views. And he was a friend of mine from high school, Justin Robinette. He asked me to shoot their first music video. That's kind of where it started. I was like, oh, because there was a point I was like, I'm not shooting music videos. I'm going to direct movies. Retarded. What was I thinking? Look at me now. So I got booked from him, and I started shooting for him. And then it was slow. It was like no one was really biting. The rap scene probably never even heard of me. I was shooting maybe one rap video in that time period. Then all of a sudden I get connected with Mason Davis, Kid Fix.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I like this song that you did. Let's just shoot a music video real quick. I was broke, no job. I got fired from my job at Fox 34. I was working there shooting music commercials. And I got fired from that job. And I was sitting at home what am I going to, how am I going to, because they had me in a contract where I couldn't do a lot of things in videography and stuff. So I was like, how am I going to make money? I don't want to go back into the job system, go back to UPS or something. I just worked at a job for a year where I was doing what I wanted to do. How do I continue this? How do people become freelancers? And it never actually happened, that moment of oh, that's how I'm going to do it. It just suddenly, I shot that music video for free, and everyone started contacting me that next day. Facebook, ding, ding, all these notifications for friends and stuff. I was like, what's going on? And then all these rappers calling me on the phone. I never got phone calls before. People were like, how much for a music video?
Shout out Kid Fix, bro. Shout out Kid Fix.
For real,
man.
it was the fact that I think the video was good, first of all, and then secondly, people thought MTV came down to shoot that music video, which was you watch it now, and you're like, yeah. It's a good video, but it's MTV.
Perspective. There's nothing like that coming out of it. You know what I'm saying?
It was that time, so he had the fan base of the, I guess not fan base, fan base.
Good fan base.
He had the fan base, and the rappers were looking at him, so it was I could think I got 8,000 views in 2 days. That's how crazy it was.
That's dope, man.
So they changed my life. So doing that music video for him for free. I always tell that to people too. I'm like, you can't think to expect money right whenever you're getting started or whatever. I would say I was getting started. I'd shot some music videos before them, probably 10 or 12. But I hadn't shot a rap music video really. I shot maybe 2. So I'm I did it for free, not even thinking anything about it. I was broke. What was I? I was just wanting to do it for fun, for passion. And suddenly I was I had a career. The next day I had a career.
Wow.
It was crazy. So it's if you're looking for someone to write you a check, just do it for free. Someone will pay. Someone will eventually pay.
So did you have anything to add to that?
Nah, go ahead.
My bad. I just got questions.
Go ahead.
No, so after that, the music videos, did you just continue to do that until how does getting back to the short films, how does that work? Did you do music videos until you had enough money, or until you were done writing this short film?
How did that happen?
And mainly speaking about Ben, I Like You.
Right. So
how did you get to that point?
Ben, I Like You was originally done it was a short film. I based it off someone else's short film. So I saw their short film probably 2011. And I was like, that's pretty good concept. I think I could do a good version of that movie. So I started writing the script, and I asked them, can I do it? And they loved the idea of me doing it. And at that point, I don't think I was shooting music videos or anything really. I was probably shooting some music videos for bands or something. That was 2011. And in 2012, the end of December, I was still broke when I shot Ben, I Like You. I think I was jobless and broke. And I think we shot it for $50. I think that's all we did it for. We're just a bunch of friends. And it just so happened that it became an audience choice winner, and people loved it and stuff. It's just random coincidence. So I don't think I was shooting music videos really. Like while I was editing, I was, because that's when the Kid Fix thing happened. While I was editing "But I Like You," and it took me like 6 months to edit that movie. So it would I shot in December 2012, and my career takeoff happened in February of 2013. So that's when my career happened. So it kind of was happening.
Did you shoot that all take place here? Did it all take place?
"Then I Like You" happened all here in Lubbock. Yes, I think Post Texas had some shots.
And did you submit that after?
I submitted it to Here in Town, and that's it. One film festival for "Then I Like You," and we won that film festival. So Four Eyes is the one that we shot in New York City and in Lubbock, and that's the one that I just released. Then it won. I didn't win, but I got nominated 6 different times. It went all across the United States, showing at film festivals and stuff. Crazy.
That's dope.
I went to, I think, one film festival, and there was me and my wife and another dude there. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, this is pretty lame.
It'd be like that though.
It's how it is though. It's
still the entry level.
This town is what? It's 2,000 people, and you're hosting a film festival.
Yeah.
I understand. So the commissioners probably, or whatever. There's probably a film commission, right? And they probably have a budget. If they don't use that budget up, they probably don't get that money for the next year. So they just blow that money on a film festival and don't promote it, just so they can have that money for the next year in the budget. That's what I'm assuming.
That's dope, man.
Because even Lubbock has a film festival when you go to it, and it's kind of packed, it's kind of lively, but it's they put it on it's a big show.
That's cool.
It's a 3-day thing. It's $60 tickets. I'm like, who's paying $60 for this thing? It could take off. Yeah, if they had the money for it, why not? That's true. That is true. It's around the world movies too. It's really cool.
Note of that. I need to make it to the next film festival.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, what's it called?
The one here in town is called Flatland Film Festival.
Flatland.
I'm not sure exactly how it goes down because I haven't submitted anything since 2013. So, but
okay.
I think they're showing at Alamo Draft or something from last time I heard.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah, okay. The location probably at the Alamo Draft House?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where they're doing it.
That sounds about right.
Last heard.
Let me ask you a question. What would you tell fans, right? People who go to watch movies that they like. It's not necessarily the same thing, is it? The people. Just the people, the general population. What would you tell them to make them want to go see more independent films?
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Is there something to
I
say?
think there's 2 kinds of people, and even in music. So there's general public who probably listen to radio and don't even really have favorite artists. You ask me, who's your favorite? I just put on the radio. There's those kind of people, and those people exist in the movie world too. What's your favorite kind of movie? I don't know. I just go see the movie that's out, like a horror movie. I want to go see a movie once a year. So those are those kind of people. And then there's people who like indie stuff, indie music, and indie movies. It's a particular person. Yeah, I think it's artistic people are going to generally be attracted to artistic things, and certain people are just more book smart people probably don't tend to go that way. Like my wife, I don't think she really likes indie movies at all. So it's there's just certain kind of people. That's what I come to terms with. There's really no way to draw someone.
Do you think they
into that
they
world.
Probably don't find enjoyment in the maybe the level of quality and production over the mainstream multi-million-dollar thing?
I mean, personally, I don't think it's even that. I think it's they don't like the concepts that fall into indie movies, which is a movie that's going to end sad.
Yeah.
A lot of indie movies end with the main character dying, or whatever it is. Those realm of things, people want to have their present wrapped nice and neat.
And is there a name for films like that? Because that's one thing I did notice about your films is they are sad.
Yeah, I think that is their name. Yeah, they're called emo kids.
They're called emo kid movies.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think they're just artistic.
I mean, there's just
movies.
a different feel to them, and there's a different look to them.
Yeah.
It's just kinda...
I think for sure it's just artistic directors make artistic movies. So I don't know how many art films you've seen, but they're all very strange. They're all shot really pretty. You never see an art film shot and you're like, wow, that lighting's so boring. You guys probably don't think about lighting, but they're never poorly shot. And but if you watch a comedy, everything's brightly lit and everything is everything's lighthearted, and the movie ends and you're like, I feel good about myself. You're never leaving a comedy going, that was really sad.
Yeah.
That lighting was really dark. So yeah, I guess indie movies is how I define art films. Like, you know, there's art films, indie films. They're kind of two different things technically, because an art film doesn't necessarily, indie just means independent. You know, it's done independently outside of the studio system. But if you're trying to generally talk about those movies, I say indie movie when I'm talking about art films. So.
Yeah, so real quick before I move on, just before I forget this question, how does a director get on? Like, does somebody see you? They're like, hey, direct this movie, or what? How do you become a Hollywood director?
I think.
Does somebody put you on, or what?
I think it is connection based. From what I understand, is that knowing people in the industry that know you want to be a director. So, for instance, have you ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall with?
Yes.
So that director had never directed anything, like, ever. And he knew Judd Apatow, the producer of, like, every movie you could think of that is funny, like, with Seth Rogen. So he produced, like, Pineapple Express, you know, Superbad, Knocked Up, blah, blah, blah. You could name all these movies in that genre were of comedy, and he's produced it. So he went up to Judd Apatow and was like, I want to be a director. And he's like, okay. What do you want to do? He's like, I think I want to direct Jason Segel's movie, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And so he's like, okay, well, let's go tell the studio. The studio is not going to want you to do it because you never directed anything in your life, but don't open your mouth and I'll get you the job. And so he went in there and he's like, I want this guy to direct it. And the studio was like, okay, who is this guy? You know, like, whatever. I think he was a writer at the time, but he got him the job, and apparently he was like such a noob on set. Like, he was calling action before they were even ready for action and stuff. Like, they were still doing makeup. Action.
That's so funny, man.
Things like that. So it's like it was all connection based. It wasn't based on his talent, which he's become a very talented director, but I think it was just connection based at that. You know, I think that's how you get in, is connections, or you make your name. Like, you guys ever seen like The Social Network or Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or any of those movies? That director started in music videos, and he made his name making rap videos and stuff like that, and then he just transitioned from that into making Hollywood movies. So that's kind of like the path I was trying to do, is like, I'm just going to direct music videos and hopefully latch on to somebody who's, you know, has a big audience, and then propel myself into bigger audiences, and then hopefully transition into movies. But we'll see about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're still working. It's still work in progress.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep it coming, man. Mills, if you have anything to input, just throw it in, because I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so...
I'm listening a lot.
So for those that didn't know, Adam did some living in New York. Did you go to New York to shoot Four Eyes? Did you just go there to live there?
So the time frame is in 2012. My family, my brother and my mom and my dad, we all went to New York to visit, and it kind of changed my life. I was like, man, I want to live there. So I saved up for like a year or a couple months or something, and I moved out there, lived in New York for like almost a year, got really broke. It's so expensive to live there. I moved back, and then suddenly all my friends moved there as I'm moving back, and I'm like,
of course.
What? Wow, okay,
of
cool.
Course.
So whenever I was living in Dallas area, still living there, and I wrote Four Eyes when I was like 18 years old. So it was like a long period of time. So I began to rewrite the movie, and I came up with the ending that like satisfied my, you know, creative sensibilities or whatever. And I was like, that's the movie. So I asked those friends who moved to New York, do y'all want to make this movie with me? Because I've been working with them at the time. It's a different crew than Ben I Like You. This is like some guys I've been working with since then. And I was like, you guys want to make this movie? Like, and they read the script and they were like, this is so dark. Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with this movie. I'm like, trust me, it's gonna be cool or whatever. So luckily they trusted me. And then I flew out to New York, and the actor lived in New York, and the cinematographer and the producer and his wife and their wives. So that's how New York was connected. I knew the city because I had lived there for a year, but also my friends lived out there at the time, so we were able to shoot that. And then I flew everyone out to Texas, because anytime you see that character, if you've seen Four Eyes, walk into a building, he's walking to Lubbock. He's outside in New York, but he walks into Lubbock. So it's kind of interesting. Like, the O-Bars in the movie.
Yes.
The Lubbock Alley, you know, he gets off of a New York subway, and he's in the Lubbock alleyway.
And what was his name again? I didn't write it down.
The actor is Matthew Donovan.
Did you know him already?
He's friendly with the two of my friends who moved to New York. He's friends with them, and that's how they knew him. They knew him from their hometown. So like a bunch of people from the California. These are California friends. They all moved to New York, and they all just kind of knew each other. Like,
yeah, 'cause he was really good.
he's really good. He's really good in that movie. And he's just a really talented actor.
Did he really throw up? Was that real throw up?
I think he chewed Skittles and spit that out. I think it was like chewed a bunch, got a lot of saliva and spit that out. It's kind of interesting watching that with people. I was like, oh, I forgot that's at the beginning of the movie.
I was wondering when I was. Well, I've watched it a few times. I watched it again before we did the podcast.
Watched it this week.
And I watched them both. Man, I Like You Too.
Nice.
You know, when they came out, and I had to watch them again.
That's
just
awesome.
To get a reminder, you know. But
Yeah.
But yeah, he did real good, man. So you said you created that when you were 18 years old.
Yeah, that's like right when that passion started for filmmaking. I was like, oh, I'm gonna write a script, and so I wrote this like 3-page script that I wanted Josh to be the actor in it. So originally, Four Eyes was supposed to be Josh, was the main guy.
Oh,
and it was about a guy.
I'm just picturing Josh as the main guy right now.
And it didn't have anything about the plot of the movie. It's about a guy who hires a hitman to kill himself. That wasn't a part of it. It was about a guy with glasses. That was the movie.
Yeah, I got it.
It's like a 3-page script.
So before like the film, being able to shoot films, I mean, you said you had the passion at a young age when you found out. So how would you satisfy those visions in your mind? You and your brother would do a lot of things.
Yeah, me and Josh made videos. I think that was even before the passion of directing, though. We made a lot of videos together, and they're still on YouTube too. You can dig those up somewhere one of these days.
Well, we're gonna post links. We're
Don't
links.
even post.
Hey, they're out there. I'm posting.
So that wasn't even. I wasn't even wanting to be a director when we made those. I don't think. I think I was just shooting for fun. The passion for direct. I did make a lot of little shorts, after the passion kicked in. But those never served. I don't even think I uploaded those to YouTube or anything. But
all that was just it was just like shooting in the gym type shit.
I was just
practicing.
Yeah,
right?
I was just trying to figure it out. I was like,
it all contributed to the craft.
Yeah, it's like
now.
Yeah,
you ever had that place and y'all's music where you were constantly like, how do they do this thing? That's how it was for me. I was like, how the heck do they get sound into movies? I didn't understand there was a mic. So I was like, oh, how do I do that?
Right.
I'm trying to figure out ways to make it happen for me. Maybe I'll get a mic from a recording place, and then, trying to figure out in my head, how I can make it happen. That's how it was, yeah.
I remember those times in myself when it came to music, going window shopping at Garage Center or Tarpley's Music and just ask questions and shit.
Yeah.
Like, little kid, you ain't gonna buy shit. Get out of here. Just I'm just trying to figure this shit out.
What mic do you think is best for?
12 years old.
And at the time, for kids like that, man, or kids like us, it was like a Christmas story. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Christmas all over again. Just 'cause you see. I bet you at a young age, if you were to walk into a camera store, it's just like, lightens up. But, so what we were talking about, Four Eyes, and you did bring up the O-Bar. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody from the 806 that was in that film that you put on.
That's pretty amazing.
It was Jody Oak from Family Money. Sick One had an appearance. Yogi Calhoun. Jason was a former owner of Backstage. Josh was in the film. He had a pretty funny clip. He was getting kicked out the bar. Mills has some credits in there. Bill, Nuno. It said your name. So
did it really? Oh, you donated to the film. You donated $20-something.
Hey,
so you got a credit in the movie.
Hell yeah,
you're credited.
That's dope.
So when it comes to the people that helped behind the scenes and acted, did you already have that in place, or did you have to cast people?
So for Jody, I sent him a script, and so originally that character he plays was supposed to be y'all ever seen The Matrix? The Agent Smith character,
yes.
That guy who's that's who I had envisioned, a white dude, older. And I sent the script to Jody, and I was like, and it was months and months went by, and then suddenly I get this email. He had sent an audition.
What?
Wow. And I clicked on it, and I was watching
awesome.
it. And think about in your head that I'm thinking it's a white dude, old white dude, and Jody Oak's reading the script, and suddenly everything changed. I rewrote the movie, that scene, for him, because I was like, it fit. I was like, this could be like an underground.
So he killed his audition. Basically.
He killed it. And we were all watching it.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to Jody.
Yeah, Jody
shout out Jody.
Yeah,
talented, man.
He's super talented, and like
his music's great.
Like, who would have thought like he was such a good actor? Because people come up to me a lot during music video shoots. Hey, bro, I'm an actor. Link me up. I'm like, okay, cool, man. And so he was in my mind. That was what that was.
And he's a super talented dude.
I was like, holy shit.
I mean, I remember being in high school. You know, I'm younger than them, than Family Money, but I remember being in high school, and I mean, he was a star basketball player.
Really?
You know, he started rapping. He killed his raps. You know, and
That guy's really cool.
and he
guy.
started
I love that
acting,
guy.
and he's doing his thing there.
He's so proud of Four Eyes too. He has a poster in his house, like a Four Eyes poster.
Oh,
Hell yeah, he framed it.
It's so cool. Yeah, he's the shit.
I need to give my poster, my donation.
That's what I like about your films, man. I even noticed in Ben I Like You and Four Eyes, like in that part where Jody's talking to the main actor, and when he's filling out that application, they kind of have that quick scene. So how's your wife been? Or,
He's asking,
Yeah, I mean, just stuff like that. I like how you threw those in there because they were actually funny. You know what I'm saying?
That's
even
good.
on Ben I Like You. So
That
they
scene
killed
is-
that. Yogi Calhoun killed that part.
Yeah, he did. There's actually that scene's so long, and we had to cut so much out of that part because there was a long conversation about like, gosh, I don't even know. Because I thought in my head, okay, he's filling out an application. It's gonna take some time, so I was adding filler dialogue in there, and everyone I showed the movie to be like, dude, that seems so long. And they're just talking about nonsense. I was like, yeah, you're right. So we had to cut that scene down a lot. I mean, the movie's 40 something minutes, so 37 minutes, something like that. So it's already a long movie.
Is there like a guideline that you want to stay in?
Yeah. For short films, you have to be like under 50 minutes. But for Four Eyes, like even trying to get into film festivals is almost impossible because people are like, stop you at like 20 minutes or 15 minutes. So I'm like looking for film festivals that allow short films at my length, and it was really hard. I was like, yeah, I probably should have made that thing shorter.
So were you able to get into any of those?
Yeah, we got into like I think close to 10 or something like that.
That's
Film
so
festivals. Which is cool. I mean, we went all over the United States and stuff, which is cool, and played in a lot of places. But I would have gotten a lot more if it was shorter, for sure.
Did you ever receive a call from somebody unexpected or something really dope? Or
No,
any
not at all. And I thought
It was gonna happen, dude. I was like, I'm waiting by the phone. No, it's just about. I think at the end of the day, Four Eyes to me was about the creation of it, like getting it done. It was something I wrote when I was 18. It's like kind of a part of that life, like how I felt when I was 18 and those experience, like it still connects to me in that way. So getting it done is like satisfying that thing that I'm accomplishing something that I started when I was young and completed it in my late 20s. So I'm like, I did that.
Yeah.
So I can move on. Like, because it was stuck in my head. It's like you move on with your life, but that project was still magic.
you're not the
idea
idea.
Yeah.
was so good. I'm like, I need to do that. But I was moving on doing other things. So yeah, I was so happy to just satisfy that. Because it took me like a year to edit that dang movie because I was so like, I think art is so weird because you have expectation and reality, and the two never meet in the middle. You have to form the new reality of what the art is as complete, and it's so hard to become satisfied with it. It took a year to satisfy it, and suddenly I'm like, oh, that movie's good. Why did I hate it for so long?
Yeah.
And sometimes the reality makes the expectations look better because something
Yeah, that's
happens
true.
that you didn't expect.
The thing about expectation, though, is that no one knows the expectation. No one knows. Like, I can tell the actor how I think the movie's going to be. He doesn't really know the expectation because I'm the only one who dreams of the movie.
Yes.
And he probably has his expectation. But he doesn't have all the back,
Right.
all the carriage with it,
Yeah, as an actor, he's been his whole time, perfecting his
That's true. Yeah.
cues, and
he's thinking about his
thinking
character, not
gonna
necessarily
be-
the whole
yeah.
picture. Yeah.
With that being said, that's one of my biggest joys from shooting music videos. Is like, let's just run it. Like, say something, and I'm gonna hear what you're saying, but when you say action, like, I'm just gonna kind of
Just do it.
work around
Yeah.
it too naturally, and like,
Yeah.
and then I got to the point where I stopped even asking, like, when's the music? Is it almost done?
Oh, right.
Because it's just like when it comes and
happens,
I get that
yeah.
email, and it's like, ding, and it's like shit, you get to see all your expectations come together and kind of what.
That's kind of an interesting thing. What does it feel like? I don't know. What does it feel like whenever I send you a video and all you know from it? Because I don't show y'all footage.
Yeah.
Rarely, if I've shown you a piece of footage on video, like, or whatever, what does it feel like to watch your video for the first time?
It's mind blowing.
Does it feel weird? Do you feel like, oh, that's what we did?
I feel accomplished.
Do you really?
I feel like because it's really it's about art. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's say you paint so much of a picture, you got to send it for another artist to paint the rest of it before you get it back.
Oh, that's
you know what
so
I'm saying?
weird.
Like,
yeah.
So
it's like drawing the outline of something, and then you send it to the guy to color it.
Yeah,
Exactly the way how he colors that. Because what if
Yeah.
he colors the eyes blue? I was expecting green.
But then you
Are you happy with blue?
get it, and the eyes are blue, and you find the beauty in the fact
Oh,
that
that's
it's
so
blue, 'cause you
interesting.
can't change it.
That's
It's like,
so weird.
you know, I'm just not going, like, that's why it trips me out. So I know a lot of videographers, and I always hear the same thing, is like when customers are like for more and more changes, and you know they don't understand, they got to go and change a lot of stuff. So I'm like, I got to the point, it's just like, you know, I'm not gonna be there. I'm just gonna accept it when it comes. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that's the thing where like for directors, you can't just go make a movie just because you want to go make. You want it to be good. I feel like as far as artists, it's the same thing, because you can't just go out and do music video because at some point it could ruin the song.
Yeah.
Or it can make the song better.
Yeah, there's two sides of that blade for sure. I think, like, if your song is like visually so music, I think, has a visual connection to it. Like, you can hear a song and be like, oh, that's a music video. There's some people that come through, and that song is not a music video. Like,
Yes,
to
I
make
see
that
that.
work is so tough. Like, so I think, yeah, that's super interesting.
So let that be known. Maybe some songs should be untouched. Leave them.
Yeah,
Put a graphic on there.
Yeah, some are just for the ears.
And some-
Like,
yeah,
some
it's
are
true.
just, you know, like, some that just don't. I don't know. What is it? You're the most recent person, Duke, to experience the APS delivery system. I need to hear what that felt like. You're the most recent person in this room. What was that like whenever I said, and you're the most fresh too.
Yeah,
So
I was
that
gonna
works.
say, because not only that was my very first time ever getting a video by you.
And in general, or wait, you've done
Yeah.
music videos, right?
I've done music
Like, where
videos before.
your brother
I've shot my own music
And Josh
videos.
shot one, right?
Yeah, Josh shot one. Yeah. No, I've had a lot of fun with that one, Josh. But yeah, but that was my very first video with you though.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was taken back. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is not
That
what
video
I
was
was
really
thinking
good.
at all. I mean, we sat there and ate at Rosa's, you know, and sat there and
Yeah,
dished
that's
out my
right.
idea, you
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? And then you just calmly like, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to expect. You know, so my expectations is like, he's just calm as hell right now. Like, I don't know.
Like,
what-
this is just going one ear out the other.
yeah, exactly. Like,
I think that's how I take in information. Is like, I'm thinking of how I'm gonna do it or whatever. I think the first time you told me the idea, I had clicked it in my head what I was gonna do. I already knew what the video was gonna look like from the moment you told me. So I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do with it.
Real quick, man, y'all search Adam Paul Stone on YouTube,
for sure.
and you can even type in LS Duke right after that, and that video will pop up.
Yeah, that
It's
video's
all
so
there.
good.
Coding.
No code, everything, you
That's
know,
the joint.
everything Adam Paul Stone. So
Do a lot of artists come to you with ideas and visions when they ask you for a video?
It's dependent on the person, honestly. There's a certain amount of artists who don't have. They just want me to make the thing, right? And they don't really care what the visuals look like necessarily. They're just like, hey, we'll find 3 locations and shoot them. There's those kind of artists, and there's also the ones that are very particular, which I think you fell into that category of almost particular. Like, I want it to be like this. And sometimes there's people who are very difficult in that realm because I'm almost trapped in the box of their like how they want the video to be. And there's some people who are just like, here's my particular idea, then just do you know, which is very freeing because a person who's been doing this 9 years is like almost the well of ideas comes to the bottom, right? Like,
Yeah.
to refill it, you need someone to come in and drop that water in or whatever, you know, like refill that well for me, because I'm like, I've done it. I've done nearly everything you could think of to my abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, so come to me so I can help sprinkle my salt on your delicious steak, and then help you,
Yeah.
you know, create.
and do you
know,
feel
that's
like
where
they're
I'm
putting
at.
you on how am I trying to say? Do you feel like they're putting you like out there as far as like putting a rapper like, hey, freestyle on this beat. Hey, these are my ideas. Do you feel that way?
Like on the spot?
Yeah, on the spot. There you go.
Right,
Do you feel like they're putting you on the spot? Like these are my ideas, and then you got to freestyle something up real quick in your head.
Yeah, normally if the song hits good, it's easy because I feel like my mind can easily go to those right places if the song hits me. But there's some people who want me to come up with ideas like on the spot, and I'm like, I literally the only thing I can think of is just things I've already done. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's really tough.
The thing that really put me in a lot of that mind state is like I've always listened to it. Like I've hung out with you and Josh for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I've always just like paid attention to small things, you know. And also the thing about music videos, first of all, is like I never forget it. One of my good friends in Colorado, you know, he watches like his hobby is finding crazy videos or just interesting videos and making a playlist. And he just like enjoys that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he does at home. So one time, you know, he showed me all these videos, man, and he, you know, and I'm just paying attention. It's like he likes things that are interesting, not nothing that's boring, you know. Like as long as it doesn't matter if it's country, rap, anything. If it's like a trippy video, he's like, I'll keep it, you know.
Yeah.
And then being with you and Josh, I mean, y'all are both crazy artists in y'all field. I mean, just making art, period, you know. But knowing like you, let me direct, right? Just give me the ideas. Like, don't come empty-handed. Always on the spot, you
That's
know.
tough, yeah.
I've always thought about that. Like, okay, when I do things, I want to make sure that
You have something with it.
Work. Yeah, not that you're like, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm gonna have to.
I knew for sure if you were gonna come, it wasn't gonna be empty.
Yeah, no, man, but for sure.
Hey man, I got this song. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you want to shoot a video for it then? That's what I'm asking. Like, why are we? I mean, I'm happy because I can eat. I can like feed my family when people do come. But why are you coming if you don't have the at least some form of? I mean, you wanted me to do it for you?
It's almost like they miss it though.
Know.
It's like
weird.
It's almost like they miss that the whole art, like you're not just rapping. You're creating something all the way around. Like a lot of people just think like, oh, I'm just gonna make this song and push it off.
Yeah.
Hey, make me a cover. Hey, make me a video, and then it's like
vanity is very strong, I think, especially in hip hop. So it's like I just want a music video because I want to see myself on YouTube
type shit,
or post it on Facebook or whatever. I think that's a lot of it too. People just like watching themselves.
I think
Which is cool.
I think this is kind of like an opportunity for me to kind of tie in some gems for the artists out there, kind of just to build on the meaning behind the Super 806 podcast. You know, right now is a time where I can tell the people out there, you know what I'm saying, is very important to think about that, right? So this is our opportunity to tell y'all that and share with y'all why it's important. The director sitting here with us right now telling us, you know, as a rapper or as an artist or musician, we could really take our art to another level by just being more prepared, being more involved, understanding the importance of creation and creativity in this, man, because really it's a lot of fun at the end of the day. Like, it's so much fun to do this when you I want to just share a story with y'all real quick about the Rapper's Girlfriend video that I just shot. It was so crazy because it almost happens at every video I shoot. Like, I get it all set up, get it ready, and then the day of, everything falls through and I gotta like
start over.
Just the same day, like just find a house, find a location, find a model, you know, find someone who's gonna let us, you know, be loud and you know, get the outfits ready, get, you know, Adam there on time. I mean, not him on time, but be there on time so I'm not late for Adam or for whoever else is shooting. You know, that's one thing too, is being punctual. I've had a guy who bail on me. I paid for the video and I was late. And that was my fault. You know what I'm saying? My fault. I was late and he's like, bro, you know, we had time for you to be here. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even be mad. I'm like, that's business. You know what I'm saying? It's business. Yeah.
Seems like he.
But we were able to reschedule it all and everything. But you get everything set up for the day to shoot a video, and then it doesn't get shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, that's my fault. I was late though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dang, was you like 3 hours late? What?
No, it was like
scheduled.
No, it was. I'll tell you the truth. the truth is, I got fucked up the night before when I knew I shouldn't have. It was an early shoot. And by the time he called, I had everything ready to go, but you wake up and get everybody who's involved to the same place. Well, I just started probably about an hour or two late, But then you think about setting it all up. It's gonna be another hour or two. He's like, bro, I can't. We're gonna end up shooting this shit at 6 o'clock at night. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, sorry. I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I should take that guy's.
It's something to learn though. I mean, it's something, just it taught me bro, I gotta be more on my, that's like as an artist and as a business, from the business perspective, you don't want to tarnish your name or your brand. You do that when you're not considerate of people's time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, and then another thing I really wanted to build on was how fun it is. So like what I was able to do with the Rapper's Girlfriend video, and I even did it with the one you shot, Deserve This.
Right.
So like we had rented what's it called, an Airbnb?
No, not that.
No, that was Wedding Ring.
That's
yeah.
right.
So with the Airbnb, it fell through.
That
We had
was
to get
crazy.
another one. This shit was
Forgot
dope
about
though,
that.
man. Adam pulled up. We had fun. It was a beautiful
That
house.
was really cool.
That's
was
something that
amazing.
people should take in, man.
Yeah.
I think
Being able to create that shit.
I think being able for you to pull that out like that was kind of insane because you were just happened to be. Were you in Dallas for work or?
I was working in Paris, Texas,
Oh,
which
wow.
is what, like an hour north or something.
That's crazy.
That's one thing about Mills, man. That's the second time that you threw a video in Dallas. You had it planned out like you ain't even from there.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah, no,
I
I was
think-
like,
And it's cool to take that opportunity to do it in a different scene because it's a different
yeah,
visual.
you couldn't have got that kind of house anywhere else. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was
either.
pretty amazing staircase that wrapped. Like,
That was probably like a $2 million house or something.
it was crazy. And that Asian guy was just so weird. Like
I sent him a link to the video when it was done. He didn't respond at all. I was like, you could have said something.
he probably just that seemed like him to the T. Like he was not gonna say nothing.
Yeah. When I
Didn't
got,
he kind of con some more money?
bro,
out of you?
it cost like $60 to book that Airbnb.
And he asked for more.
I called because this is the story. Like I booked the Airbnb in Paris before I was even over there. And I called and I sent them an email to tell them what it was. I didn't want to waste my money and get kicked out, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't answer that email to the night before the shoot. And it was my friend's birthday, and it was already like 9-10 o'clock at night. I was like, no one's gonna respond to me tonight.
Yeah.
I might as well go to this dinner, not even worry about it. Come home and in the morning I have to figure it out. Like I literally told myself, you're gonna have to be okay if we shoot this on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Like real talk, you're gonna have to be okay if that's what it comes to. If we
Yeah.
can't find another location, I'm gonna have to own that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I called this guy, the Asian dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that sounds racist as
It's
fuck.
not-
He's a human being.
He's Asian. I don't know.
He's a rich Asian dude. All right. Now just being anyway.
It defines the story. I mean,
The dude. Okay, so I emailed him. I gave him my number. I said call urgent. Like it's about the Airbnb. Like I have a question. And maybe now in retrospect, it shouldn't have been so desperate. So he was able to squeeze some money out of me.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, so he calls me and he's like, "What is it that you want to do? Explain." I tell him and everything, and he goes $200.
Oh my god,
Bro, I said it's $60. I'll give you $100. $200. I'm gonna call you right back. I got off the phone. Motherfucker. I was in my friend's house by myself. They took off for the morning and shit. I was like, what the fuck? I called him back. $150. $200. What? I'll be there at 5. Ooh, every time I was pissed, brother. And I sent him the address, bro. I was sick. I went to the
You should have slept in
ATM.
that bitch.
Yeah, that's what I kept telling him. I was
The
like,
thing
"You're
about it,
sleeping
bro,
there."
I was there for one reason, to shoot the video. But I took advantage of being able to go see my friend, for her birthday. So like, it was literally overnight that I stayed there. It was the night of the birthday. Boom. It was the video shoot, and after the video shoot, I got in my truck and drove back to Paris, Texas, bro.
Hearing this, man, it was now
Has to be at work.
nothing situation.
Yeah, I would have slept with that guy's out. I'm,
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
should've
sleeping here,
slept in
bro.
there.
I paid $260.
I'm gonna email him like, I get a voucher or something next time I'm over there. Can I stay? Shit.
He said $200.
No, I ate an orange in that bitch. You see it in the video already.
He was like taking stuff. Hey man, you got guacamole here?
Can I use your laundry? I gotta do a load of laundry in this motherfucker.
You're over there taking a shower. Hey, man, I can use your shower for a second. I paid $260.
Dog.
Dude, we were like spraying fog in his house and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is it? And we're like, it's like fog in a can. He's like, looked at it for a second. Okay. $300.
I don't know what he was, bro. I'm sure I asked him.
Dude, it was crazy.
I
It was
felt
like almost sad because his house looked so like empty. It was a big house and he was probably the only guy there.
Yeah.
It looked kind of sad. I was like,
bro, you can have some kids running around this
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I was
Dog.
like,
If I
no.
live here, this model I'm with.
Yo, what is this model? Is this not even your house, is it? He's probably watching for his friend.
That's why he don't want us to mess nothing up. He's like, fuck, man.
He probably hit a lick. He probably made him 140.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
man, I made $200 when my friend was at it.
His cell phone at his house. He was like,
He's using his Airbnb like, I guess I'll use
No,
it.
I got took, bro. I got took.
I remember you were like pretty mad. You're pretty upset on that day.
But it was worth it. But
Yeah.
that's what makes the art fucking enjoyable.
The story
If
behind
you just go to the park and shoot a video, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's no really story behind that. There's no energy behind that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much momentum behind what we did.
Yeah, that one was really impressive to roll up on. I was like, wait, we're shooting here at this place? Because you said it was an Airbnb, and I guess I didn't click what it was going to be like till I got there. I was like, oh, it's like really,
It's a mansion.
it's really nice. Really nice house. I was like, are we here by ourselves? And this Asian guy was like, hello.
And at that, I want to say there was even people staying there. I think.
Really?
I think there was people in the room upstairs.
No.
Because he told me he's like, you're not the only one here. And
Oh.
I was like, are you talking about the fact that I'm not the only one who's renting
Like,
the Airbnb, or
because
is there someone
Adam's
that's
here,
like,
or
yeah.
are you saying like because me and
Like,
my
you're
girl?
here?
Who are you talking about? No, there's ghosts here. That's what he said. Upstairs, don't open that door. Spirits realm.
It's so random as hell.
Oh dang, he was from a whole nother realm.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was really fun. Yeah.
are you surprised on how fast film technology has came?
Yeah, it's really annoying. Like, I don't know how music technology is, but it's almost like after you buy something, the next day something will come out better, and you're like, what? How do I return this? How do I send this back? Because that's how it is. Like, you buy something, technology moves so quickly. Like, it's hard to keep up camera wise. Like, I don't even know how people like manage that. I think you just have to be just happy. Like what I was saying earlier is like, be happy with, your bow and arrow, that you're the archer. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, it doesn't matter how outdated it is or how old it is, because the true people people do look at quality. Obviously, you can't shoot on the worst thing ever, but at the end of the day, I think it's about what they're seeing is like, they're not going, man, this kind of looks like 720, 720p. It's like,
So right.
no one's thinking that. At the end of the day, they're thinking about the context of or the content. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a good music video, or whatever. So I think it annoys people like me who are like constantly like, man, should I be doing 4K and da-da-da? But in reality, it's like, no one can even view 4K really at this
That's
point.
true, because it's
So
kind of
right.
like, I'm going to say it's kind of annoying when you see people promoting, like, they making a huge letters 4K shoot,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, the last year you showed it look good too.
Yeah, here's
I ain't gonna lie.
Here's the real breakdown of 4K. So the only way to truly view 4K is if your eyes are if you're viewing it this close from your eyes. 4K looks like 1080p from me to your TV on this wall. 4K looks exactly as you can have a 720 TV and it looks exactly the same. 4K is actually just an upsell, and they're about to upsell you again on 8K coming out soon. 8K can only be viewed in your eyes. Like, you have to have the thing this close to actually view 4K. In the sense that you won't tell that there's any distinguishing in quality. Yeah, so they did a thing where they were did 4K. So did you know when you go to a movie theater, you think what do you think the K is there at a movie theater?
Like 1080p.
It's 2K, which is 1080p.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're watching Avengers is all shot in 2K. You think, they're probably shooting 9K, whatever. They're shooting it in 2K. They're shooting on the camera I have. They shot the Avengers with my little camera or the B camera.
Wow.
A camera's big camera. They would use my type of camera. So you're like, why the heck we spend all this money on cameras? Like, Hollywood's not even doing it.
The red camera, what's that?
People, it's just people drinking out of that that well of where they think, oh, people. Well, the thing is though, like if you do have those cameras, people are gonna come to you more often. Having 8K, oh, that sounds good. Reality, does it really make it better? No, because you can't tell. Your eye can't distinguish that much stuff. Our eyes can't do it. You know where people say like they're like wine connoisseurs or whatever. Your tongue can't distinguish all those different palettes. Same with your eyes. Your eyes can't distinguish all that text. That you might think so because your brain is going, oh, it's 4K. It looks great. It looks the same as 1080. That's the thing.
It's true. That's true. From when you started to now, dude, did you ever ask something real quick?
It's kind of off. But you said the thing about the palate, about the wine thing.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask y'all because he told me this the other day. Does pork chops taste like steak?
Okay, this is what I said.
If you were blindfolded.
No. Let me tell you something right now. Chefs are blindfolded before you like. There's chefs who will blindfold you. They're like young chefs, and they'll make them taste pork, chicken, and beef. And you're surprised that people can't tell the difference between any of those blindfolded.
Oh, wow.
So blindfold yourself. Don't smell it. Don't even really taste for texture. Texture is pretty close to pork. I grilled pork. That's why I brought it up. I grilled some pork, and it tastes just like steak. If you weren't really thinking about it, you're like, that's really steaky taste.
That's a statement right there.
So blindfold yourself and try to eat those three. And
Not
like,
doing it.
What is that challenge called?
Yeah,
blindfold. That's the
new challenge. I want
What's it
all
called?
you
Bird
people
box
out there.
challenge?
The bird box challenge.
Sounds gross. Dude. He's like,
The blindfold meats challenge.
Blindfold meat challenge.
So yeah,
they gonna
I want
that
to try
one
that
over
because
there.
I'm curious if I know that there's.
I am too
Chicken
because
for
you
sure.
said chicken. Like I
I
know
watched
chicken,
a dude.
dog.
I watched a dude on camera eat chicken. Go, New York steak.
No, I just feel like if I heard that, I'm like, dog, you just thinking too much. You thinking
Like-
too much. I take a bite of a drumstick, I know I'm eating.
No.
Bro.
Like so take 3 different meats, right? A chicken breast, a steak, a piece of steak, and a piece of pork. Grill those exactly the same. No seasoning, nothing. Grill them because you just take this little flavor of smoke and lay it out for people and see if that smoke palette
No way.
overtakes all those different.
We're doing this.
textures,
We're doing
different-
this. It has to
We
be done.
have to do that.
It has to be done.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't been doing it on this podcast.
Somebody go
Y'all
fire
should
up
have
the
that
grill.
set up for me. I had one request. I said I wanted the blindfold taste test when I got here, and I showed up. Where's the steak? Where's the pork?
Adam, if you have your camera right now,
I
set it up. Let's do this. I'll go to the store.
We finna go get some.
We'll go
Y'all
get
can
some
put this in the YouTube. We'll cut
Video.
from the logo into this blindfold taste test.
Wow.
Damn, I
I bet Duke would fail that test. He'd be like, I think this is fish. We didn't have fish on the board.
Dude, if I was to mistake chicken, bro, I'm jumping off a bridge.
You're
bro.
gonna taste steak back. I think that's eggplant. That ain't no eggplant, dog.
It's like deer.
Oh, that's venison.
Y'all play with me. This is tangerine. Y'all play with me. I know tangerine.
I know y'all grilled some pineapple. Where's that pineapple?
I know a tangerine when I taste one.
I know. Oh, y'all playing jokes with me.
Okay, what is that? That's an apple. Y'all know y'all gave me an apple.
I put number fruit on this motherfucker. Strolling this.
Now I'd be scared to blindfold myself.
Right.
We'd have to have like
You need someone there to make sure that they were going to screw with you.
mediator.
Yeah, mediator. They gave them all Twinkies. I think that's steak.
y'all cold. I'm cold.
It's a little
Pretty
chilly.
cold in here.
Just turn this heater on.
Hey man, well, I'm gonna get back to. I think I got like 3 more questions.
All right.
Mill's gonna turn on the heater. So I kind of want to get back to Four Eyes.
Okay.
Towards the end of that, I know when it seems like when you're making a film, everybody has their own process. Everybody has to get in that mindset as well as yourself. Do you like your relationship with the main actor in Four Eyes? Like, did you ever feel bad for him? You know, in a sense, like, because I feel like you got to get ready for this character that's supposed to.
Yeah, I think
What was your relationship like with him?
with the actor, he's older than me, so I feel. So this is like my first. Four Eyes was like my first film where I felt like, because it's the biggest one I've done, bigger than Been I Like You. We had a $5,000 budget, and it was the first time I kind of felt like I didn't have control. Like control of the film. Like, it almost like I felt like things were getting lost. It was so big. It's a big movie to do, like shot in New York and in Lubbock, and there's actors and all these people I have to manage. I felt like I lost myself in it. Like, I was calling my wife on the shoots and saying, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a director. If this is what directing's like.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I heard Jordan Peele say that on the set of Get Out. He would call his wife and be like, I don't want to be a director anymore. It's like, oh, good, I'm not the only person. But me and the main actor did have some, like, I felt like we didn't always run on the same page, and maybe that was his process of how he works with directors. But I did have moments where I was like, we do not get along. Like,
Yeah.
and now it doesn't feel like that. But at those moments, I think because he's an actor, and actors have to be in an emotional place all the time. Like, they're constantly putting their emotions on screen, and I'm like direct. You know what I'm saying? Someone's directing your emotions. Like, it must be. I don't know what it's like being an actor, but I'm sure it's really tough. But like, I felt like me and him were kind of. There was moments where we were kind of like on. I felt very uncomfortable around him sometimes. Like, I felt like he hated me, and maybe he felt like that about me. But from what I heard, he doesn't. He doesn't feel that way at all. But I felt like that. Maybe that's what kind of how the process was supposed to be with some people. I heard like the director Kevin Smith talk about him working with Bruce Willis and how difficult it was to. Like, he was nervous and scared around him. That's probably how I felt on the set.
I got you.
I was nervous around him a little bit. He's a really good actor, though, and he did a good performance in my movie.
And I'm just asking just because, I mean, this is firsthand, I think from what you told us, it was a big, like, step.
Yeah, it was a jump. Yeah, it was
a bigger budget. Like, it was more real this time.
It was, and, I mean, it was the first time in my life where I got the closest to my dream. I accomplished my dream, but it was the closest to that Hollywood thing that I thought I was a director 100%. I was watching a monitor. I was directing people, and you don't really, that concept doesn't really hit you until you realize what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm laying in bed after the shoot because we barely got any sleep, and I'm thinking, I just directed a movie. Like, it didn't really, like, that's the dream. That was the dream, and I did it. And we had money, and we had actors, and people came to do it, and people who did it, just because they knew me and they believed in me. So it's like, it's kind of amazing. Like, I was able to pull it off. Like, I mean, I'm blessed to have all those people to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people willing.
A little bit about that. Like, all the people kind of came together. What's your take from it?
It's incredible that people donated, first of all, to make that film happen, and then people donated time on top of that to come and be in the movie, like Jody and my friend Jared and Yogi and all these people donated time, probably took off work, who knows what they did to get there, and that's incredible. It's like,
I remember you even made a post of, hey, we're going to be at so-and-so shooting this scene.
Yeah. I think it was like 30 or something people who showed up, and I'm sitting there going, like, as a director, because we were behind on schedule, and people were just waiting in that O bar. We were across the street from the O bar, this way, shooting Jody's scene. We get done with that, and we're late, way late. That scene took forever to shoot for the lighting and whatever, and we're making it across the street, and I walk in, and there's like all these people in there, and I'm like, I'm about to have to direct every single one of these people. And I'm a pretty nervous person. I had to get up on stage and, like, with the mic and, like, or not, I didn't think I had a mic, but I got up on stage, I was like, thanking everybody for being there. I was like, wow, they came out to be here for this. This is crazy. Like, so yeah, it was pretty tough to direct 30. Normally on a real set, if 30 extras show up, there's another person that talks to all those people.
Yeah.
There's another guy that goes up. The director wants you to maybe, like, take a drink whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I had to do that for every single person. I had to go up and, hey, whenever the camera comes, cross the camera this way, blow smoke in his face, whatever it is, everybody.
Well, let it be known, man, if you're ever back doing that, holler at one of us and we got you.
Yeah, definitely.
Be that assistant.
Definitely.
That sounds pretty dope.
The next movie is being written. I finished writing it. It's called Butterflies. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but it's kind of about how my life is now. Like, Four Eyes represents the angstiness of me. I never wanted to kill myself or anything, but that mindset of being young, like that concept, and it seems like it's about that time period. This one is about love and relationships with you have with someone you love, your spouse and stuff, and It's still trippy. Like I think all my movies, except for maybe Ben I Like You, is sort of plays in like alter reality. Like you could probably never hire somebody to kill yourself the way he does in Four Eyes. Like he goes underground and it's like there's a guy, you know, it's like that would never happen that way. So it's like an altered reality. That's kind of like what that movie, the next one's about too.
And let you know, man, look out for that butterflies coming.
One of these days, yeah, when I have time.
So would you say right now, like donating stuff for that movie?
I think I'm probably not ever going to ask for people for money ever again. I think you only get one shot at those. And I'm glad I did it for Four Eyes, but I don't think I'll ever do it again. I think I'll just do it all by myself. I mean, there's a certain level of, at least for me, I felt kind of guilty about it. Maybe not guilty, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of feel like, yeah, like I have to really make sure.
I have to kill this.
Yeah, and like, which is fine. You should always do that with all your movies, but like that one felt like, man, people actually believed in me. You only get one shot at those, and I'm glad I took that shot on Four Eyes because I think it deserved it.
But I feel like even rich, like I feel like you're not even the only one, because I assume that even the biggest directors, unless you're super rich, you have to ask people for.
So yeah,
something.
like in the main Hollywood world, there's investors, and the way the investing works is either a studio invests in the project, and they hire their directors themselves.
Yeah.
Or in the independent world, there's rich white dudes or whatever it is who give the money, and they're expecting a return on their investment. When you're crowdfunding, you can't really return your investment because A, short films make no money, and B, like, what am I supposed to like make money and then return? It's a donation. So that's why it gets kind of tricky with donation-based things. It's like, well, what if this movie did make money? Do everyone deserve money back? Like, how does that work? Because in the financial part of it, of like a big Hollywood movie, is they're making a return on their investment. When they invested $3 million into the movie, they're going to get their $3 million back, hopefully, unless it bombs. But how am I supposed to do that with a crowdfunding thing? So yeah, I'll probably just never do that again.
Well, okay, so I just thought about this though, because the thing about crowdfunding is that the person is like lovingly and willingly wants to pay because of who you are, right? So they're like,
yeah. It's an
they're like
investment in the person.
Adam wants to make a movie. I want him to make that movie. You know, like I want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay that. I'm gonna pay $20,
Right.
or I'm gonna pay $1 if I can. You know, if I'm allowed to see it, I would like to see it
I
happen.
guess that's
You know,
kinda
so
true.
they're not your payback is the movie, because
No, I
that's
guess
what
that's true,
that's what
yeah.
they're wanting to see.
I mean,
you
there's
know?
some people that donate like $300. They're like, pay $300 for a movie?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, like, and at that time, you know, at that, you know, you didn't ask for everybody to donate $300.
That's true,
You asked
yeah.
for them to donate. Now, if they
Whatever,
gave you
yeah,
$300, man, like
that's
that's
their
the love.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
their
what I mean?
investment.
Yeah.
They chose to do it. I didn't force
They
them
paid
to do it.
$300 for a ticket
true.
to a movie.
That's
you know,
true.
like,
That's true.
you know.
I never thought about it like that. I guess I was feeling more like guilty
But
about
I
it.
could see where it comes from though, because again, it's like not every day is perfect, and then it's like they don't know that. You know what I mean? They don't understand that every day is not perfect,
Yeah.
and they're expecting you to be out there, or at least that's your mentality. Like you think that they think you're gonna be out here every day, fucking shooting a movie.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That kind of brings me to a whole new question. Like like when we rap and stuff, and if you feel you got something, you're able to go book venues, you're able to throw your own shows, you're able to do all that, try to make money back. In the film industry, are you able to like rent a movie theater, you know, as far as a screen, and charge people to come watch your film? Or
So the way that works is the movie theater, you can rent a screen. You can, but you'll be paying the movie theater like whatever, $300, $500. I think it's $500 to rent it, because they want you to sell every seat. So if there's 300 seats, you got to pay $6 for every seat or whatever it is. So whatever that comes out to. Yeah, so you got to pay for the theater's entire seat that they're going to be taking away from making a profit from.
Yeah.
If you're like if it's me trying to book it for 4 hours or whatever it could be. So you got to book the theater, and what was your question on that?
are you able to do that? Like, man,
Yeah, I
don't know.
could technically do that. Book it, but I don't think I could charge money for them to come in though. Like the theater, the thing is already. It's almost like booking like a room for like a party, a pizza party. Exactly. You can't do Mr. Gaddy's, buy that room, and then charge out the door as they're walking into the pizza party.
Yeah.
You're like, they're like, bro, you can't solicit while you're here. Like, hey, what's coming to this pizza party? We got our own pizza.
And you've done a movie showing at a coffee shop.
Yeah, we did it at Gatsby's.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was
Is it
cool.
Cactus Alley?
Yeah, in Cactus Alley. That was with Ben I Like You, and that was crazy. All these people showed up, and the room was like full. I think were you there?
Yeah.
Were you both there? That's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. That was so fun, and I mean, it was really emotional. All those people who were there were friends with the guy who passed away, who was in that movie. So I think it was kind of cathartic for everybody to see him again. Like,
and the film was really good. I mean,
thank you.
it's like that one's a really good. I think honestly, it might be my favorite.
Adam, next time.
Cool people have their favorites.
Next
yeah?
time you're
You haven't
shooting for
seen the
your
third
film,
one.
invite me to set. I want to be on set.
Yeah, you should
I'll
check
check
it out.
Yeah, and even
I'll
at the,
deliver coffees. I don't give a shit.
Okay,
I'll do
we'll-
something.
I'll let you know.
I just want to be on set.
if you ever want to come, if you ever have another showing, man, I would love to set that up for you.
Like,
That'd be
Mills,
cool.
get my
That'd be
charger.
super
Damn
dope,
it.
you know?
That would be really
You'd
dope.
be like,
Set that up for
hey,
you,
Adam,
as far
what's
as
up?
finding
He's like,
everything and setting, getting
Coffee
people
guy.
out.
Locked in.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, 'cause I love doing stuff like that.
Oh.
Did you get any awards or recognitions for Four Eyes? You want to tell people?
Four
what
Eyes
you-
was nominated.
I think it was nominated 6 times. It was nominated for Best Actor. So there are different film festivals. So the way that film festivals work is when you actually get selected to be at their festival, it's considered official selection. So you ever look at the movie posters of films and you see those little reefs, it says official selection, it'll say the name of the film festival. That's considered an award technically. So it was entered into like 9 film festivals. So technically it has 9 reefs. But nominations wise, it was nominated for Best Texas Short Film, Best Short Film, Best Actor, Matthew Donovan, Best Crime Drama at a different film festival, Best Screenplay. I got nominated for Best Screenplay at a film festival, and a couple. Who knows how many more? I can't remember them all. But there was.
Who classifies the genre? Like, what did you say was?
The film festival breaks their film festival into different genres when they nominate the film. So one of the film festivals broke it into. They took all their film. I think they got 300 films submitted, and they took all of them, the ones that they believed that were nomination worthy, and then they broke them into, well, how many were shot in Texas? Well, we'll have a Texas category for Best Texas Short Film, and then they took I think there was like 5 per thing, and it's crazy we even got nominated at some of these because you're like 300 films like played at this festival, and we were one of the 300 that were like selected to even be nominated. It was kind of crazy. It kind of trips you out. You're like, wow, someone liked that? Like, I'm dyslexic, right? And I got nominated for Best Screenplay as a dyslexic person. That kind of trips you out. I can't even read words correctly. They're like backwards. My wife actually edits all my scripts. She actually goes through and like corrects words and stuff because my grammar is like so bad.
I thought you were saying the the nomination was Best Screenplay written by a dyslexic.
Yeah, it was. It
That's
said
what
Best
the whole-
Screenplay written by a dyslexic. No, how would they know that? What, did I submit myself as a dyslexic filmmaker?
Bro, it's the
have y'all
Me
heard
Too movement now.
Have y'all heard my rap name, right? AP Dyslexic. That's my hip
He
hop.
spells it P.A.
PA Dyslexic. I'm AP Dyslexic, but when you read it, it says PA Dyslexic.
It's spelled P.A. It's pronounced A.P.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that's genius. I'm starting that fan page right now.
That's great.
Go like my fan page, PA Dyslexic, or AP Dyslexic, but you can find it under PA Dyslexic.
Man. Well, I think I have like 1 or 2 more questions, man.
All right.
I think it's easy to say with everything you've done, you're easily one of the best directors come out of Lubbock, out of the area, really.
Appreciate that.
So you got to travel. You got to do a lot of traveling. You do a lot of wedding videos. You've done music videos. Obviously, the short films. Like, what have your cameras really done for you? Would you say?
My cameras.
Where have they taken you?
Well, I mean, I think without filmmaking, I don't think I would have ever hopped on a plane. I mean, I guess I would have, because we took a family trip to New York, but that was my first flight ever, and I was like 22 years old. And since then, I've flown every year to LA, to New York, you know, wherever it may be. I've flown every year a couple times a year, and it's like, I mean, that's like physically where I've been, but like where it's taken me, I actually have something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go to college. I was horrible at school, and I was able to find something that I love and other people love too, which is what art's for. We create for other people. You know, we satisfy ourselves with our creations, but we're ultimately creating for others to get inspired or to love it too, or whatever it may be. I create for others to have some kind of reaction to it. So that's what cameras have done for me, is I've been able to create my art to do things for other people, whether it's make them happy, smile, sad, whatever it is. Like when I deliver the music video and they, whatever it may be, maybe I don't ever hear back from them, but they post it online like they love it, or I hear back from them like that they cried when they watched their video, or whatever it may be. It's like I'm able to touch people, and it's just, that's what camera's done for me. It's changed my life.
And all as well as fulfill your own dreams.
And then fulfill my inner thing. I don't think I can work a 9 to 5. I don't think it's inside of me. Like, I've tried it, and I get fired from jobs or whatever. I am not that person. I think that's important for young people to know too, is that not everyone is built and designed the same way. Like, if you're shooting for the angle that your father or maybe your mother or the people that want you to do, it's like you need to go to college, you need to get in these kind of careers. Even if you're going to be in the arts, you still need to. That's not true necessarily. If you have the gears inside of you to grind and fight for your dream, you're going to get it there, I think. Because, I mean, most actors, I mean, whether they've been to college, they become successful not because of college,
right?
Not because of school. They get successful because they have that fire inside of them that burns.
I think too, to build on that, like that level of success, when you're really an artist at that point, like you learn to cope with the level of success that you're at. It's not even so much about like you're doing something for success, because with art, I think about this the other day. It's so crazy that people get famous off of art, but artists are so either in pain or got something going on in their head. You know what I'm saying? Their lives aren't good. Like they're probably on drugs or binging, drinking, or you know, they lose their families and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that goes into being like that's an extreme art. You know. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like
most artists are tortured for sure,
right? Because of them, and by themselves, they're tortured by themselves. They put themselves in that position that they're going to create, no matter what the sacrifice is.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, like that's another thing for young people to understand is when you're creating art, give yourself time to create. Like let that be the primary thing.
Yeah, I think
fame or anything else or like success that should have either come or not, but you gotta be okay with it. If it doesn't.
I think being okay with not reaping the rewards that you think that you deserve is also important. Like, so say I think this film deserves to win awards. Was your goal was to make awards? Was your goal to make the movie? Like, you're making the movie, not making the movie to make awards. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you feel like I need to be validated by awards, well, I think that's not about it. You know, that's not how it should be either. You should be creating it either to satisfy that creative drive that you have, or to make other people happy, or whatever it may be, make other people inspired. So I think young people, listen, you don't need to be famous on Instagram. You just need to do what I don't know, maybe that's your dream.
All about the product.
That's the dream.
That's it. If that's your dream, go for it. I guess you're right. I guess this makes us mad when we see young people who are famous on Instagram. Maybe we're a little jealous.
Hey, I mean, I get a little pissed.
It's internal.
I just be like, damn, they got lucky. Like, no, not even lucky. They just right place, right time. It's like winning the lottery, though.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's kind of lottery winner kind of thing.
When you come back to Lubbock, do you have any eyes or like are you in the mix as far as like the local scene of art, music, and in all things?
I think I've kind of fallen out of that a lot when I moved away. I think a lot of people. I literally just got a Facebook message the other day, and someone asked if I was still in New York. I'm like, clearly you haven't looked at my Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, my Facebook in 4 years. But I mean, like, how could you still think I've lived there? But
Do you?
so yeah, I think I'm totally out of the loop on most things here. Like,
Okay. So real quick, have you gone to anything local over there in Dallas?
no, not at all. I mean,
Are you interested in
I'm like
anything
a
that?
total family man.
Yeah,
at
you're
this
right.
point.
You're
Like,
right.
And I don't know if I ever fit into that kind of, like, I don't know, like, I have my group of friends that I do film with, and I have my group of friends that I do, other things with, music
But
or whatever.
at one point, you were in the rock scene. At the I don't know what is rock sounds like such an old school word to me.
Yeah, it's
rock.
like it's basically the rock scene.
It's like Kiss music with the with the page.
We were,
say
I
rock.
guess technically it would be like the punk scene is what
Punk
we were
scene,
in,
yeah.
but I mean,
I know that was
rock
long ago.
music.
I know that was long ago, but I just think like at that point you were in the scene.
Yeah, I don't know if I loved it like how I love filmmaking. I don't think I loved that, the scene as much. I kind of stood back away from the mosh pits and the hardcore, like all the stuff that was going on. I kind of stood away from the stage and watched music that way. I mean, the last time I went to a concert, I was like 20 or something. So I've kind of like pulled away from music in that a lot of those things because I don't think I really enjoyed the concert aspect of music. I really liked the production side, like listening to I really enjoy recording, like when me and Josh do music and we record. That's where I really enjoy, and I like listening to my own music in the car. Very vain of me, but I'm like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So it's like that's the part I like. And what do you guys think about? Do you like performing or recording more?
Oh man,
Go around the room. Let's hear it.
I love recording for sure,
I love
but
performing.
I want to perform more.
You feel like performing? What about you, Mills?
I think recording.
Really?
But
Does the performance not on stage not give you satisfaction as recording and writing does?
it does,
what
but
it
it to me it's harder to do often. You don't do it often.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess like now it's at the point where it's like we got a PA system. So this should be done in the house just because it's part of the art.
Oh yeah.
But before that, it's just the only time you really perform is at a show, and if you're doing like one of the local shows, you probably don't have a chance to even mic check. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So it's hard to get any satisfaction out of that.
Don't
'cause
get
you're
real
up there
started
just-
on mic checks.
Yeah, don't man. At this point,
No. But honestly, like going back to like learning something though is like when it goes to the music videos, it's like you're gonna throw a show, man. You should really like think about that. Like, let's make a good show. If I'm gonna have all these different artists come and perform,
What is
like,
the definition of good show? I hear people talk about it all the time. What does that mean?
Good promo.
I would think taking caring for the craft that you're doing, like.
But what's the where's the peak? Where do you see the good show? Where does that
Can I
hit?
answer that?
Yeah,
I need to know what that means.
perfectly.
I hear that all the time.
Like here locally, a regular show is let me hit people up, be on my show, and you're gonna perform whatever. I think a good show, if we're talking locally, I mean you gotta push, man. You gotta take care of people.
You're
Kinda
talking
like-
about the promotion though, but when I'm at the show, I'm audience, right? We don't know each other.
Oh, what is a good show?
What is it for me? How do I know it's a good show? When I go home and I go, that was a good show. What are you trying to shoot towards me as the audience member to make it a good show for me? What does that mean?
Just that crowd interaction. Once you see people,
Okay.
once you see people, once you see people rocking, live or whatever.
Yeah, it's got to be a
Yeah.
good vibe. No one's
Yeah.
fighting.
Exactly.
No one's in there trying to start trouble. It was a good show in the sense that good artists performed.
Exactly.
I enjoyed myself. No one got hurt. I went home. That's a
And
good show.
I think
Got
it just comes out to so
I was
many
confused
things.
by that. Good show. What do you mean by good
Yeah, it
show?
just comes out to so many things, you know what I'm saying? Just because you can't just you gotta get some real artists, people that are able to.
Is it?
Give you some
Does this
catchy
happen
stuff.
at shows here? You could put on a show, right? You put artists up, and then someone goes up on stage, and it's just like, what? Are they just horrible? What happens when the artist is up there? That's
Okay.
do they
seems
not
like they
care
don't
for the
care.
crowd, or was
So
it?
this is what I
Are they
was saying
late or
about
something? Is that what it is?
taking time in it is because like the whole mic check thing, right? A lot of times you get an artist They don't have no mic checks, right? So first of all, you got 5 different artists with 5 different tones, 5 different styles, right?
Up on stage at once or different?
No, throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
But with no mic checks, you're literally running with one volume for all these
and
people.
they're fixing it as you go.
Yeah, so it's throwing you off as an artist because you haven't heard yourself on the mic up until the point where you're performing, right?
So it's just kind of like,
especially if you're not in your own craft and you're not working this shit out at home, right? So then you're not even comfortable with it.
With that. Oh, I see. Yeah. So
now the audience is hearing all that. They're hearing like the fact that
it's almost like you're doing this the practice run on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's like,
people can tell.
By then your energy has been.
Your confidence is dropped.
As soon as you said your first word, like, oh shit,
everything stops,
and you're backing towards the wall instead of towards the edge of the stage.
And then everybody's music is mixed different, right? So then again, they're just playing it off, and then one guy's is low, right? But then his next song is stupid high.
It's like mastered really horribly. So it's like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to throwing these shows, and like, man,
so that's a part of it too.
As a local, as the artist side of it, like, man, we need to come together and make sure it's a good show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make sure that we're going to have a good time out here.
I think that's a part of it, too, then, is promotion, what he's talking about. And then the other part is the behind-the-scenes portion of making sure that all the artists feel comfortable.
And worthy, you know?
Yeah. And mic checked. And then you make sure your freaking mixes when you go there are all leveled, too. You don't want track 2 to go... You gotta crank that thing to track 3 is like super loud.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of it is the community of artists who, hey, if we're all gonna be on a show set together, on a show list, like let's chop it up, like let's see, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Commit to the outcome of it.
Yeah, to the outcome of the
That's
event.
I guess that's some issues that I guess you guys would face, is that people get invited to be on the the flyer or whatever, to be a part of the show, and then people don't even care about who else is there with them, right? They don't care who else is on the flyer. They're just like, I'm just there to perform. It's like, I don't care I'll leave right after I'm done with my performance. I'll show up right before mine, and then bounce, take all my people with them. I remember that about shows back in the day. Everyone would show up for the one guy or the one band, and so they're gone, the whole place cleared, and you're just like, okay, I guess I'll play to the other band he's playing next.
So that just tells you that there's no relationship between those bands.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing about this shit. Like, get to relationships with each other, so that way we have value in each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people who are invited to be on the same show spend time and effort to understand what's going to happen, like, what's to come for that show. They have a vision. They know what to.
Yeah.
Then they have a breakdown of what they need to be doing to contribute as far as energy, effort. Maybe it starts at the top of the chain. Then whoever's putting on the show needs to be the one creating the avenues of.
I think so. Yeah, I would imagine so. I think the person at the top would have to be the start of the whatever energy he's trying to give. If he has all these bad vibes he's putting out, I think it's going to filter into having the worst possible.
Like if you just put the guys on the show and then completely forget about them until the day of the show, then that's what you're going to get back.
That's what you're going to get back, you know? Yeah. And if you're on there trash talking before the show happens, people are probably going to show up and fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe you're giving to what's happening.
You know, and I think that brings up, I remember when we talked about that meeting, throwing a meeting out here just to get all the artists together and get on one idea. And, you know, off the bat, I remember people talking like, I need to settle why people are beefing or why people don't like no, that's not what we're here
the meeting's about.
You handle that, you know, on your own time.
Right.
But this is what we're trying to do here, so.
Yeah, I was listening to that. I was like, that's interesting.
But, all right. That's good, man. Y'all got any more questions for the man, Adam Stone?
I always have questions.
Always. We need like 2-3 more hours.
But yeah, what's on your mind? I mean, you know, you're here on the Super 806 podcast with J9 and Ezra Mills, right? And their whole thing is about representing Lubbock and growing it and allowing people to see the other side of it, which kind of to me goes down to the art side of Lubbock. Like, there's so many talented people, whether it's cooks, and, people who can draw, people who can rap, people who can sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what's something that Lubbock inspires you?
I think it's important to know that although I don't live here, I'm still here because I work here every month. My only work is from here still. It's like, although I don't live here, like with my feet in the ground or whatever you want to say, I work here every month, so I'm still part of the community here. Even if people don't know it, people call me out every month, and I work here. 2 or 3 music videos a month here. So, or weddings, that's usually why I'm here. So I'm shooting somebody's wedding in the 806 or whatever it is. So all my work is still here.
I'm just like.
So what was your question about?
I'm just saying, like, what do you see?
You know what? It's so interesting. I don't think you can truly appreciate. Maybe you can, but for me, I didn't love the 806 till I left the 806. I didn't love Lubbock until I was away from it, and you miss it. Like, being in New York, you would think, like, oh, it must be so inspiring and so, like, the dream, right? Yeah. And I'm there, and I'm like, God, I miss home. I miss the way that, food tastes there. Whatever it is, it's so weird. You get so comfortable in your home that it's weird being away from it. And this town has, like, this weird thing like that where it just holds people, like holds them. That's like, it's so comforting here, and it's like it feels like problems happen. There's problems in this town, but it feels like when the economy went down in 2008, this town was unaffected by it. The gas prices are always low. It's like this town has this, like, a weird bubble that's protected by the outside world, and it's like you feel so safe here. It's so weird. It's like, for sure. Yeah, it's home. It's interesting. It's like, I don't live here, but whenever I think about home, it's definitely here. It's like, I live in Greenville, Texas, just because we found a house there to move into. It's not because I want to be there. It's just the place we moved into. My wife was going to college in Denton, which was fun, but it's like, I was still in Lubbock. Like every weekend I was in Lubbock shooting music videos during that time period. So it's like, yes, I've always been here. Just no one knows it. They still think I'm in New York.
Well, I think we want to wrap it up, man. We want to thank you for coming out here.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Taking out of your time to join us. And
I think it's cool what you guys are doing here with the podcast. I think it was cool what you guys posted on Facebook with that gentleman who was having people who were, the government shutdown was affecting them.
Johnny.
That kind of thing, I think, is what. I don't think anyone's really doing that sort of thing. Especially you guys just started like last week or week before. You're already out trying to build community relationships with people.
It's feet to the ground running. You know what I'm saying? Like it's exactly what it is. So
yeah, I know you guys are already going down that road, but having people in here that are different crafts, like rapping to rock. Who knows who you could have in it? You're gonna have so many different people.
And that's the thing, man. We just want to give the people a chance to recognize like everybody that's doing stuff. As far as music, like we said earlier,
actors too. There's an actor in town I want to be.
That's what we're for. So
exactly,
be sure to follow us.
It's just like what we spoke about earlier. It's just this is a whole community of people who are like yourself. We're probably not gonna be 9-to-5ers. You know what I'm saying? Like. Right. There's a whole community of them. They look different. They're from different places. They got different obstacles in their life, but they're the same as.
And they're going unrecognized. And that's a shame. So that's what the goal is.
Yeah, I think for sure you guys are gonna have something cool. I already have something cool, but I think it's gonna be like, it might change. You might have kids listening to it or whoever. Yeah. Inspire them to be like, oh, I want to be a videographer, or I want to shoot music videos, or I want to be a rapper, or I want to be an actor. And then I listen to podcasts all the time of like filmmakers or whatever, and I'm like, I just want to get close to them. So having a thing like that for the city where they even feel even closer to maybe with something you want to do is probably so valuable.
That's the whole goal for this episode, is for people to see like, yo, there is a director that got out of here, a filmmaker that got out of here, that was able to get his stuff nominated and stuff.
Yeah, probably every movie I shoot is probably going to be here in Lubbock, even though it's like, it's going to say it takes place in Oregon or whatever, but it's like, that doesn't look like Oregon. It looks like Lubbock. Definitely, every movie gets shot here in Lubbock.
Any shout outs you want to make?
Shout out to my baby girl who's at home.
Big little baby.
Yeah, I miss. It's so strange having a kid because you just miss them all the time. You like I'm living like with her all the time. You're like, gosh, I can't wait to get.
Yeah.
As soon as I get in the truck, I'm like, okay, I'll turn around right now.
Yeah,
Right now, I'll
exactly.
turn around right now.
Just wait till she starts talking, bro.
Oh my gosh! If she says "Dad,"
I just
got.
gotta
Drop
take.
everything. I can't do this video now.
I quit my career. I'm gonna work at
Something came
UPS.
up.
I just got a text message from my daughter, and I almost shut the whole podcast down. Like, it's 1,000 emojis, and I'm like, that means she wants to talk. Like,
Oh,
I need to call
man.
her. Okay, real quick, let's pick up on this, man. We can't go without knowing a little bit more about some of the people you've met during the time you've been filming these music videos. Will you elaborate on a couple of these people that we just talked about?
Let me see. I've worked with. I've had an opportunity to work with Kasky, who Kid Fix I think is his new name now. But we shot a music video for him in L.A. I got an opportunity to work with him. He was really cool guy. Funny, interesting thing about Kasky, which I mean I don't meet a lot of rappers who are white, but he doesn't listen to rap, which I found was interesting. Actually, his favorite band is my favorite band. So I was like, what the heck? And he had lyrics written on him from that band. I was like, oh, he actually is a fan. I thought he was just like, you know how people say stuff?
Yeah. Like, I heard you talk about this in my dream.
What? Really?
I just
That's
had
crazy.
video.
So what band is y'all's favorite band?
My favorite band is Circus Survive, and he had just saw them the night before the music video shoot, and he had a picture with him, and I was like, dude, that's crazy. He had this picture with the lead singer, and he had the lyrics on him, and he was like, I want to start making music like that, like with lyrics that are like deep and not about like, you know, what rappers rap about. I'm like, I don't know if those lyrics are deep, they're just weird. Like, that guy's lyrics are just weird. So I don't know if Kasky is like that. I've actually never heard Kasky's music other than that one music
It's
video.
dope.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
it's good. It's just like, I mean,
Does he have weird lyrics or something?
Yeah, it's got
Is it?
deep lyrics.
Oh, do they?
But when this is over, I'm gonna show you a song that he did. I think you like it.
Really?
He has every mixtape.
Really? Does he do mixtape?
So y'all instantly like, but y'all vibe though. You were
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
actually meet him. He wasn't
Yeah,
like
he was
no
so,
celebrity.
and he was like praising Mason, like saying, "This dude's gonna make it. This dude's gonna make it." And apparently, like you would think in front of his face he would do that, but he was downstairs talking to people who were like there with Fix, like part of his crew, and they're like, "That fool's gonna make it." Like I was like, we were upstairs still shooting some other stuff. I was like, "What? That's crazy." That's so. He was really nice, dude. So that happened. I've met Shaggy before. Wasn't me back in 2001 or whatever that came out. So I was moving out to New York, and I was shooting a music video for this girl, and featured on that song was this guy named GC, Golden Child. Golden Child is actually the writer producer of all of Shaggy's stuff. So he's a 7-time Grammy nominated.
Bro, Golden Child is like, I've heard of Golden Child.
I was like, excuse me? Yeah, so his name's Andre Fennell is his name, and so he was featured on that song. He was trying to become an artist, like, so he featured on this chick song, I shot the music video, and that dude was like, yo, I really vibe with you, we should link up. And I was like, you hear that all the time, so I was like, whatever. Cool, man. I didn't know who he really was until he said, come out to this house, let's shoot the music video. So I went out to the house, I walked in, I was like, whose house is this? It was like in Queens or somewhere really far outside of New York. And he was like, oh, it's Shaggy's house. And a big poster on the wall was Shaggy. I was like, Shaggy from that one music video I saw once when I was on VH1? That wasn't me. And so I went there, shot the music video the first time, and the studio was underground. So you went under the staircase, and this big studio opened up. He had like arcade games on this wall, and then in here he had like the booth with the, like the thing. You could see all this in the drum set because he performs with a live band. And I was like, oh, this is his house. They're like, yeah, he doesn't live here, but it is his house. Like, he owns several houses. He lives in Jamaica, and he lives here, and he doesn't ever sleep here, but he lives here. He owns this house. It's just his recording house or whatever. And I was like, what the heck? Came back to continue shooting, and he was on the couch. And I was like, what's up, man? And so I was nervously walked up to him and talked to him, and he was like, hey, nice to meet you. And that was it. It was crazy. Yeah, he's Jamaican, so yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Said I was fishing.
He's trying to get I'm not gonna do it. I actually could do it pretty good while I was hanging out with GC because he has an accent, and I could do it pretty good back then, but I can't do it right now.
Like on the spot freestyling over here. Like.
So I did work with them, and then GC connected me with this guy, Anthony Bell. Anthony Bell was a background singer for Michael Jackson for a long time, and so I actually got to do some work with him, and so that was pretty cool.
So was that a feature as well, I guess?
He was featured with GC, and then Bell asked me to shoot 3 music videos for him, so he flew me out to New York, and I shot 3 music videos for GC. I mean, for Anthony Bell, and it was really cool. Unfortunately, we never released any of those videos because he just kind of stopped talking to me. I think he has a family and stuff and was working like a real job, and I think he was trying to dip his foot back into being an artist, and I think he just was like, no. So he paid for all the videos, paid for me to fly out, never released them. So it's like, dang, those would have been dope. He's a really talented
singer. You never
singer.
talked to him since?
No, not really. He likes some of my Instagram posts and stuff, so I know he's still around and stuff, but I just think he gave up on trying to make, the artwork over there or whatever.
I'm gonna add him on the tapes.
I should just drop them. I should just drop those music videos.
Who'd you shoot videos for in California?
So I'm actually flying to California in a week or 2, and I shoot this band out there, Here Lies the Hero, or Here Lies is their name now. They're this rock band. The guy who's in one of the rock bands is in a touring rock band called Lowlifes, one of my closest friends, and they're touring like UK and stuff all the time. So I was trying to get connected with Lowlifes, but they already found a videographer, so I was like, dang it, because they're a pretty new band, but they tour like pretty heavily already. Like they're getting like looked at by labels and stuff like that. So I think I worked with, like I told you earlier, I worked with Justin Robinette, who had millions of views on every video he'd drop, and I've worked with a couple bands that are kind of famous-ish, but no one who's like.
Why does that name sound so familiar, Justin Robinette?
You've gotta heard it. He's from here.
Yeah, he did covers.
He does covers. Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
Did he cover Urgency?
Yeah, he did do a cover of there.
Yeah,
he played.
That's him.
Yeah, that's
he's from here.
Yeah, he's from here.
No way.
Yeah,
I jammed that shit as much as I jammed the.
Yeah, so Justin Robinette has a YouTube
you.
channel with another guy. Cause that YouTube channel where It's You's on, it's his own channel. Well, he has another channel called Michael Henry and Justin Robinette. Has like 300,000 subscribers, and they don't upload anymore. But when they did, they were getting millions of views all the time. And so there was the last music video we shot was. They were playing drums and piano simultaneously and throwing like drumsticks over each other and catching them and continuing playing. It was dope.
That's crazy.
Some skills.
Wow, I didn't know they were from here.
Yeah, it was a continuous shot too. So pretty dope shot.
You shot a lot of music videos for people here in Lubbock. Have you built relationships, long-term relationships?
So yeah, mostly everyone that I shoot for, I'm friendly with. Like there are exceptions obviously to that, and usually if I don't have a good relationship with that person, they're usually never shot again, like if the vibe didn't happen. But so like Demadric I'm really close with. I'm close with you guys. I'm close with, but mostly everyone I shoot with is usually my friend. Like I can go eat lunch with them or whatever and it's not awkward, so there's some people out that I've worked with that's never gonna happen again. I've actually never heard from these people ever again because the vibe was just so horrible. So it's like,
who's some people that you would like to hear on this?
I think a good person you could bring on would be D. Rashawn, Demadric. I think anyone from that Starving Artists group of people I think they're really cool guys. I think they're really interesting and different. I think their writing skills is kind of like they're really good writers. Who else would be on here? I think Kid Fix. I think he would be interesting to talk to. He's not only a part of the hip hop scene, but he games for a living. So I think that's somebody who would be interesting to talk to. Who else would be cool to bring on? Josh Stone. There's this artist named Josh Stone. He's really talented.
He is though. Shout out.
No, man, y'all be sure to follow us at the Super 806 on Instagram and Facebook. Follow Adam Paul Stone, man, on YouTube.
Everywhere, yeah.
Else?
Just Adam Paul Stone. You can Google it. Go to Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You probably already know me if you're watching this.
So
but spread the word. We want more people to know him. We want more people to watch his documentaries. So wherever you're at, go look up Adam Paul Stone, 4 Eyes. It's not a documentary.
It's a short film. Go check out 4 Eyes. It's online officially. We're gonna be dropping a commentary of the film pretty soon with the actor, producer, cinematographer, and myself, where we'll be discussing all the inner details of how the filmmaking process went of making the film and some other behind the scenes information. So we're gonna be dropping that online at some point. Thanks, Duke. I'm gonna be smashing him on Fortnite soon. Ezra Mills is done with Fortnite. Jay Knight can never get in the lobby with us. Appreciate it.
Adam, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming and spending this time with us, man. It's always a joy, bro.
We love you guys. Appreciate it.
You wanna take us out?
Smoke some.
There you go.
Hate me from up close or you can hate me from afar. It don't matter what you think about me, I'm still gon' get that raw. You can hate me from up close or you can hate me from afar. It don't matter what you think, little homie, I'm still gon' get that raw. Hate me from up close or you can hate me from afar. It don't matter what you think about me, I'm still gon' get that raw. You can hate me from up close or you can hate me from afar. It don't matter what you think, little homie, I'm still gon' get that raw.
I load up the bricks, bust down the bells. I do it so well, clientele can't tell. I load up myself, run through the mail. Wait about a minute, damn call from himself. He still running numbers even though he locked up. I'm still running numbers, we rock the blocks up. Flooding the streets, we got them stocks up. Run this shit back, let me pull up my cup. SAE and that it will. Don't fuck with pigs, ain't on the squill. Very paranoid, so you know I'm always packing my steel. Baby, please don't cross that line. This shit will pop off and get real. I'm a different man, shit's been fucked up for these past couple years. But you